Tom, it's amazing to see you. We're here at AIAI London. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a huge pleasure. You've just been on a panel session at Generative AI Summit. Maybe for the folks that couldn't join, you could just kind of kick things off by sharing what that panel was about and how you found it.
Yeah, so basically regulation, but obviously kind of broadly about building models, but building AI systems. We're just reflecting on like how different the environment is like across the US, EU, UK, China, and so just reflecting on how, whether that's a good thing, but I mean, in some situations it is a good thing. There's like benefits that are coming out of it, kind of social contract between, people building these systems and the customers wanting, like the big enterprises wanting to adopt them. If we kind of find out some middle ground where we know how to operate the things at scale, then it's more likely to be like a productive business. But obviously there's this kind of other flip side, which is like innovation and what it's doing there. The US is kind of like very, very different to the EU. And we're sort of just exploring, what the benefits are. And it's obviously early days, but yeah, it's been cool to talk to the other panelists, and yeah, thanks for the invite.
Awesome. And you're obviously now at Unlikely AI. Maybe you can just share a little bit about what the team is up to there. It's obviously a super exciting A-list team that's based in London at the moment. So yeah, maybe you can just share a bit more about that.
Yeah, so it's started by William, who was kind of he was the inventor of the technology behind Alexa, and then that got sold to Amazon. And they're working on basically like question answering pre-LLMs using like very big knowledge graphs. Which is good, but LLM's much more generalist, creative, lots of different things. But yeah, basically, as he's been aware for like the last few years, and it's kind of linked to the regulation panel actually, but adoption of these systems is kind of being hindered a little bit by this hallucination problem. And what we're working on is like a new compound architecture that brings together like a symbolic model, a symbolic world model, in conjunction with LLMs, and we're trying to control that hallucination property, so we can like turn it up and turn it down. So you can have creative, but if you want to deploy it like in a kind of high throughput system in some like high trust environment, then you can control that hallucination and make it accurate. And the idea is to try and ground the models in real factual knowledge. And there's lots of sources for that, like Wikipedia, an amazing source for like factual knowledge. And you can ground. I mean, Google are working this obviously with Gemini and the AI overviews, but that technology needs to be like properly developed so that like LLM providers, every company in the world that's using LLMs has the ability to control that property, right? Because if you want to deploy it inside enterprises, you need to be able to control the hallucination. It's like a big problem, massive problem. And actually, whether you believe in the Safety Act or not, the reality is that they're trying to deal with that problem. That's probably like the biggest single thing that AI companies are having to deal with, and it's preventing them from selling their software at scale, right? So yeah, we're trying to solve that problem, and there's definitely different approaches, like people working on just pure LLM approaches, shrinking down like the generation size and trying to make them more accurate by generating less content at each step. But I think the argument that it's going to be like some kind of compound system has got a lot of weight behind it, and that's kind of where we're going.
It's awesome, and it's super exciting, I think, coming out of London to be kind of competing on the generative AI kind of world map is really exciting. What might we be able to expect in the next kind of 6 to 12 months then from your team?
So we're going to try and go to market in Q1 with like some early POCs, just working with some companies in some different sectors and like getting validation on the tech, at scale, or at least in high throughput environments. And then we're going to be basically launching it in Q1, Q2 next year. So definitely reach out if you're interested in having a chat.
Awesome. And finally, today for us is really about bringing together the AIAI community, builders, engineers, execs. Why do you think that is important, especially here in London?
Well, I mean, actually, again, from the panel, the environment in London with the UK is brilliant, right? We're kind of in that weird stage where there's not heavy regulation yet. We're still like pro-innovation. Obviously, there's lots of work going on there, but the UK is a great place to do business right now, I think, in AI. And there's obviously an enormous talent pool, not just in London, but wide, more broadly around the UK. So just like when you're building teams, right, cross-functional cross-functional teams, bringing people of different skill sets together is like super important. So, having those cross-functional teams and just bringing that together through communities like AIAI, who are fostering these events, but also like bringing these diverse sets of specialists and experts together. It's super important. Yeah. So well done on everything you're doing, and thanks for asking me to get involved.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Tom, you've been really generous with your time, so thanks very much. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.